Ethiopia is home to more than 800,000 refugees, mainly from neighboring South Sudan, Somalia, Eritrea and Sudan. Thousands of Eritrean refugees live in camps and outside of camps in Tigray state, but currently the refugee camps are reportedly being attacked by the terrorist TPLF. Defying international immigration law, the terrorist group has been killing, robbing, raping and abducting the refugees sheltered in various parts of the region. However, the international community, particularly the US and its allies, have opted to remain silent while the rogue group of the TPLF ravaged two regional states after invading them. As one of the UN agencies, the UNHCR's Ethiopia office has to say regarding the gruesome situation.
Why you hesitate to condemn these atrocities of TPLF or the TPLF group on media?
What I want to say to you is that there have been a lot of violations of rights. Some you know, some you might not know, but we have quite a number of channels through which individuals concerned make their point, families, individuals, as well as ourselves. But I can say to you that for the time being, as the Minister of Justice has indicated, what we have, as well as the National Human Rights Commission, is that we have a very solid report and that report needs to continue. And I think there is a very clear vision from the government and we are supportive of that vision as part of the UN country team. We have our colleagues of the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. We work with them very closely and we do believe that that impartial as well as neutral work will be carried forward.
One of the manifestations of the TPLF's barbaric rule was the massacre meted out against the Amhara in Maikadra a week after the attack on the northern command of the Ethiopian army back in November last year. Those who spearheaded the genocidal act were local youths known as Samri, aided by the local administration and the so-called special force. They went door-to-door killing those they identified as having Amhara and Walqite identities. However, those TPLF fighters crossed to the Sudan only to come back carrying IDs issued by the UN refugee agency, UNHCR. The number of registered Ethiopian refugees in Sudan has been decreasing, but it said it doesn't know their whereabouts. Talking to ETV, Mamadou Dianbalde said that refugee status is incompatible with active participation in armed conflict, but that the incident was alarming enough to serve as a painful lesson.
We are alarmed by that and we are concerned by these actions and we have taken as much as we can within our possibilities. Yes, we have a control mechanism. We work with the government of Sudan. I was recently with my counterpart in Sudan. We have conversations, we advise them, we provide them with support so that refugees are not engaged into this. But you know, Sudan is also a very large country. It's like Ethiopia. So you cannot say you can control everyone at the same time. So I would say to you that our colleagues, our partners are doing their best, but the people who are engaging into hostilities are absolutely not refugees. They were refugees, but from the time they do that, they are no longer refugees.
Given the double standard and complicity exhibited by the West and some of the multilateral organizations like the UN during the third month-long war, many Ethiopians have been harboring doubts about the credibility of these institutions. The representative, however, affirmed that UN agencies operate in Ethiopia applying the principle of neutrality, adding that as a founding member of the League of Nations, Ethiopia deserves respect.
Now, there are few misunderstandings. One is that is the UN here delivering for the people of Ethiopia? Yes, we are delivering. As we speak, we have over 700 persons who are working here. Is the UN part of the United Nations? Yes, that's also true. There are other member states in the UN system, as is Ethiopia. So that's something which is really the member state dimensions of the UN that we cannot control. But as UN civil servant, we are here, we have stayed, we have delivered, and this is not the first time we are doing it. We have been doing that for decades. Ethiopia is a founding member of the United Nations. Ethiopia knows the United Nations perhaps better than any other country or as any other country.
The UN has also been under fire for silence following months of looting and massacre in Afar and Amhara by the TPLF. The UNHCR has toured some of the liberated areas in those states and provided service for the displaced, says the representative.
I have been here only for 3 months, but I have visited the Afar region where with the resident coordinator, humanitarian coordinator, we provided support. That was just 10 days ago. I have visited 2 months ago the Amhara region through Gondar, through Debark, where we have been providing support to the internally displaced persons, where we are relocating some of the Eritrean refugees. We have been working in the Oromia region. As we speak now, we are supporting returns and as well as reintegration. I would say to you that working for the UN, and Ethiopia is a founding member of the United Nations. Working for the UN for us is a privilege, and working in an impartial way, in a neutral way, making sure that we are really focusing on the people. This is what we do here.
Mamadou Deambalde said the UNHCR will press ahead with its support for IDPs and Eritrean refugees located all over the war-hit northern Ethiopia.